can't become who we want by staying the same. Huh. So with that said, let's make a change. Meek free. Ha. I swear they'd rather see us lose. We destined to win, and you know all you shady niggas gon' get left in the wind. This one's for all you motherfuckers that been doubting my pen. I grind hard, putting that work, and that's word to God. I ain't get a check in months, and still I be on my job. And yeah, most these niggas they be calling the cops. I'm super focused, chasing my dreams. If you didn't know this, fuck you, I know I'm dope. You probably mad cause you hopeless. These niggas bogus. Wake up and smell the Folgers. Putting all of this work until I get where my goals is. At the top, all this fraud and gotta stop. What we gon' do about this killing on our block? Trust your journey, and worry about nothing that don't concern me. Don't know it all, just know that I'm still learning. Create your social existence by just earning. Long as this fucking world turning.
It's only about time these niggas know. They cutting your leaves, won't let you grow. Cutting your leaves, won't let you grow. A system to keep you in control.
Hey everyone, it's Sash. We're live here on Mtm Radio. I'm just going to get right into it. We're going to do a little change of direction, shift the direction today, and then next week we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming. That song was called Stay Woke by Star Made Day. It was just released about, I think, a couple days ago, and I think it's a super dope song. I'll have it on the Who Got Next playlist for those who are interested in listening. Like I said, I'm just going to jump right into it. This show I want to dedicate to my friend that passed away on October 23rd, to Jaquan. Rest in peace, Jaquan. We love you forever. This song, I feel like, has a lot to do with what's going on in the community as far as gun violence and as far as this, census acts of violence. This song was actually like I said, by Star Made Day, and Star Made Day is actually Jaquan's nephew. And Jaquan and I were high school friends. We went to high school together, we went to college together, and we just built a friendship off of that. And he was murdered in a staircase in front of his son, who was also shot, and he didn't make it, and his son did. And I keep posting it, I keep saying it, I keep thinking about it, and I just don't understand it. And I guess it's something for me not to understand, but I can't wrap my head around it. As I went to the funeral on Friday, we were, all our high school friends that were really close with Jaquan came out and supported for sure. And we were just talking about, like, when is it gonna end? Like, when is it gonna end? When is it gonna change? Like, we're literally fighting against our own people, and cops kill us. We don't need to kill each other. And it's over all. We don't know what it's for. We don't know why. At this point, I don't even know if it matters, but I don't know what type of individual and what type of human can shoot a child, a 5-year-old. Like, I can never understand it. So I want to bring awareness to that, and I want to dedicate this to Jaquan, his family, his son. Everyone is in my prayers. I met his mom again at the funeral, and I was just basically like, I saw his son there, and I was just so confused. Like, why does this stuff happen? And it happens every day. It's been happening for years, but I just personally feel like from 2018, it's just happening more. Not 2018, but in this generation, as I get older, it's just happening more. And when I say that, I mean the younger generation, as well as millennials and just people in the world, we're exposed to so much more. There's a lot of things that at 8, 9, 10, 11, I didn't know that 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and 10-year-olds know. And by the time they get to a certain age, they're programmed in a certain way. They're desensitized to certain things. Like, they listen to a different kind of music. When I was growing up, I listened to like what Biggie and Tupac and Nas, and what they was talking about. And Biggie's talking about it was all a dream. He happy to get out the hood, and Tupac is thanking his mom for being, such a great mom. And we're sending inspirational messages. We're encouraging our youth. Versus this day and age, some of the music that we hear is like shoot 'em up, stick 'em, and all types of stuff. There's no necessarily like a inspiring image to promote Black people or minorities to be better people. So I think the music is definitely a factor, and that might play into what goes on in society, as well as technology. Technology has diminished and damaged our younger generation, sadly. The internet, social media, bullying people on social media. People literally take their own lives because of social media. So it's just like it's a crazy world that we're living in. And I saw someone post earlier today. One of my classmates actually reposted it, and I thought that it was super informative, and it engaging as well. And the post was basically saying that people, we want to be the change. We want to be the change in the world that we're all dying to see. And how do we do that? And the post was basically saying that voting and praying is not the change. And I disagree, but I also have opinions about that. So with that being said, I know that we all think that, not we all, but a lot of people think that voting and praying are the change. Like, we all, oh my God, all we can do is pray and get out there and vote or whatever. Of course, there's power in prayer. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell me that there is not power in prayer. There is power in prayer. So for that, I disagree with that. Now, as far as voting, I know that a lot of people have a different stance on voting, because a lot of people feel that voting, my vote doesn't count. If it's only me, then my vote doesn't count. Or if it's only me and 6 of my friends, our vote doesn't count. Look what happened with Donald Trump or whatever. If our vote didn't count, we would never have a black president. Barack Obama would have never been a president if our vote didn't count. So I think to think like that is very ignorant. And also, I understand why people think like that, because sometimes we vote and we feel like our vote doesn't change anything. Like, our voice is not heard. So it's discouraging. Not that it doesn't count, but it's just discouraging, I feel like, to people, especially the younger generation, as far as voting. My personal thing on voting, I want to exercise my right to vote for the simple fact that people died, people were hung, people were killed so that I could vote. I remember there was a time, I remember learning in school that there was a time where women couldn't vote. So for that, to pay respect to my ancestors, I want to vote. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a little bit more hands-on with voting, and I was a little bit more vocal with voting, which I want to be. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of people killed just so that we could vote, So I definitely don't agree with that. But I like that it was such an engaging conversational statement, because it made me really think and be like, you know what? We want to be the change in the world. But how can we be the change? So we went to my friend was buried on Friday. Friday night, I saw that another good young man from Brooklyn that I don't know was murdered. Then this morning, I wake up and I saw that Angela Simmons, who is Rev Run from DMC's daughter, her baby father was killed at his supposedly home. And I'm just like, when does it end? Before I got on live, I saw that my sister reposted I think 2 or 3 people were shot in Newburgh, and one was a female, one was a male. And I'm just like, when is it going to end? Like, when are we going to stop? I think that the people that want to see change are the people that are not committing these crimes. I'm not sure that the people that are committing these crimes, I don't know if they want to see change, and I don't know if they really care. So as we were driving to the cemetery on Friday for Jaquan, we were talking about in the car, and I said, what, and I said to my friends, I said, what can we do to be the change? Like, really, what can we do? Like, how many people in the hood, or, what I'm saying, in poverty-stricken areas or high crime rate areas have resumes? Some of them don't have resumes because they don't have a job. That doesn't mean that just because you never had a job doesn't mean that you can't have a resume, but that's a whole nother story. So my friend goes, okay, even if we go there and we give them resumes and we make resumes up for them, some of them don't have people skills, some of them don't have interview skills, and some people don't want to. They don't want to work for 10, 12, 15, 17, whatever it is, an hour for 40 hours a week and get a paycheck for $500-$600 and be like, I could make this amount of money on the block. So I just feel like the change that we want to see, I'm not sure exactly how we can be that change, but I definitely do think that we definitely need to stay prayed up, and we definitely need to ask for favor for our Black and our Hispanic community. Because at the end of the day, when we listen to the news and they say that a cop shot somebody or somebody was murdered, it's not white people, it's not Asians, it's not Indians, it's not any of that. Majority of the time, it is Black and Spanish people. For whatever reason, it is. So it's like, it's bad enough that the government, quote unquote, is somewhat against us in that way, or we don't really have a voice in the government. When a cop kills us, they get suspended or they get paid leave or whatever bull crap consequences that they have. And it's still like you leave a son with a child without a father, you know what I mean, a wife without a husband, a husband without a wife, and they don't understand that, they don't just kill that person, they actually take a piece of everyone that's close to them, around them, with them. And for me, basically, it's just like, we want to see the change. We want to be the change. But at this point in the world, what's going on, I don't necessarily know how we can be the change. And like I said, there's so many different factors play into it. I remember when I was like 19, 20, and, Rick Ross was really big and heavy on his self-made. I'm self-made. I want to be a boss and flip kilos and make my own money, all this other stuff. And I remember I was working at Bloomingdale's in Manhattan at the time. And I was working with a couple of like younger black guys. And they were like listening to the music. And they used to be talking on the sales floor and be like, yo, I don't want to do this no more. Like, yo, I'm about to flip something and become a boss. I'm going to be my own boss or whatever. And it's just like, when you're younger, you're so impressionable, like, especially when it comes to music. So it's like, damn, this is what y'all listening to. Y'all listening. And don't get me wrong, I think Rick Ross is a very talented artist. I like Rick Ross's music, but I did not like that message that was being sent at that time, because we have a lot of young black men that were looking up to Rick Ross and that were like, oh my God, I want to be self-made. I want to be a boss. And they thought that meant that, oh, well, I got to go sell a keyload or I have to sell drugs to be my own boss. And the music influences and infiltrates the culture and the younger generation. So I feel like that plays into it a lot. Also, technology, like I said, and social media. And I also think another major thing that comes from what's going on with the younger generation is parenting. A lot of people are having children at a younger age, which is whatever, different strokes for different folks. But I feel like people are raising friends. They're not necessarily raising children. And when you're raising a friend, it's very different from you're raising your children. My friend is a teacher, and we would just, we talk sometimes about how she tries to call some parents and let them know, that their kid is not doing that well in school or they're misbehaving or whatever. And she says that the younger parents are always they're not receptive to her constructive criticism that they're getting, because they're so defensive and they're, oh, my kid, you can't tell me nothing about my kid, and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, nobody has a reason to lie. You know what I mean? The teacher isn't calling you because they want to pick on your kid. The teacher is calling you because they actually want better for your kid. So sometimes when you're dealing with people who are raising their children a different way from the way that you and I might be raised, it's like they're not getting it. Like, they're not getting it in the home. So it's just like, damn, I can't blame music. I can't blame the media. I can't blame society. Sometimes you got to blame the home, because the parents are not parenting and they're not putting their foot down. Or like I said, they're young sometimes and they have a friend. They're looking for a bestie, or they're looking for a girlfriend or a guy friend to be cool with or whatever. Not really drawing the line between a parent and a child, because I was raised that parents are not your friends. Yeah, they will grow into being your friends, but they're not your friends. They're here to discipline you. So I feel like it starts from there, and it's just so many factors that play into just senseless acts of violence and the mind state that these people who commit these crimes, the mind state that they have. And I don't understand it, and I don't, obviously, maybe I never will, but I just want to bring awareness to the violence that's going on in our neighborhood. That is whack. That street cred shit is whack. It's corny. It's not popping. It's not, you get nothing out of that. And as much as maybe those people might think that they do, but as they get older, I would only hope to God that they would learn that there's nothing in the streets. There's only two things. It's death or you go to jail. There's nothing else. So with that being said, I do want to play the rest of the song by Star Made Day called Stay Woke. And for those who want to listen to it, I will have it up tomorrow, and I will tag everybody's SoundCloud so you guys can chime in and see what's going on and stay woke. You stay prayed up, vote. Do whatever it is that we need to do to stick together. Encourage the younger generation. I said to my friend, I was like, yo, you want to come up with like a company where we can make resumes for the less fortunate, the underprivileged, and we got to figure out something. And I definitely think one of the ways of doing it is to pray. And if you don't believe in prayer, I truly feel sorry for you. So this song is called Stay Woke Freestyle by Star Made Day.
I gotta let you know, if I don't let you know, ahead of my time, yeah, I suppose. But I'm on the grind, I gotta go. Together we you single on the floor.